grad in 2014, so I stayed in the area to run a business. But my goal today is to add some value for you guys. I don't have too much time, so when I say add value, I mean probably do some Q&A. If you guys have questions, that would probably give the most value for all of us as a group. So I'm coming from a place where I studied science, biology, a little bit of psychology my entire life, and I came to F&M because I wanted to go to medical school. And that was my fast track. So I changed my plans when I studied abroad. I was getting real tired of college and just didn't have much connection to the community. So I decided to distance myself and go live in South America. I lived in Chile for about half a year, and it was phenomenal. Down there I was part of a community of people who were not Chilean, they're indigenous people, and I got to live with them, and we worked together, and I had this connection, and I missed that when I got back to Lancaster. So I thought, all right, senior year of college, still studying my hardcore sciences, just going through the motions, and I had felt no connection to Lancaster, so I thought I can do something. And I looked at myself, I was like, what skills do I have to give anybody? And I didn't have anything besides a passion for weightlifting. So I was like, all right, I have some tool I can work with, and I thought that I could use weightlifting to build self-esteem. So I started working with a couple kids in the city. They were from Manheim Township to start. They lived in the city. We'd meet up after school and we started training together. And by the time I graduated, I had 15 or 20 kids every night meeting me at the YMCA. So I thought, all right, there's something here. There's some mission that I think I could pursue. And I decided to put aside all my plans to go to graduate school or medical school just to stay here in Lancaster and start this program. So definitely probably disappointed a couple people when I chose that. People don't understand when you follow your dreams sometimes. So it's something to keep in mind when you think about your future. If you're brave enough to follow your dreams, then most people will be like, oh, well, you're throwing away your 4 years of education. We paid all that money for you to get this education for you to do something useful. But I turned that around. I founded the program as a nonprofit, which means I was willing to collect donations from people. I wanted it to be a program that gave and not took all the time. So we went through the trials and tribulations of starting a program with someone who has no business experience. I mean, when I started, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just going off of my gut, feeling that I could give back to these kids. I could teach them how to weightlift, it could build confidence, I could help them get into college, I could help them improve in school and get to the next grade level. Love the sound. So I've learned a lot over the past couple years, and the last year has been the most impactful because I started to read voraciously. I got so burnt out after college that I was like, I'm done with textbooks. I'm totally done reading. Nothing in there for me. And I got burnt doing that, so I came back and I started to pick up every single business textbook I could find. And I chewed through them faster than I would have if I was at college. And I taught myself everything now that's gotten us to the point where we are. We have 2 gyms in Lancaster City. We have over 20 kids at each gym every night, and we're able to push at least 40 kids off to jobs every year. We have a smaller number, less than 10, who are heading off to college. So the program's working, and I'm super proud of it. It's been a long journey, but it's been one that's super fulfilling. So you can think about your dreams and goals in terms of money, or you can think about them in terms of impact, or you can do what I do and think about it in terms of both. So when you go into the business world and leadership, it's not all about money, it's not all about impact, it's a mixture of both. So if you fall too hard, like when I did for a while, if you fall too hard into the, I'm just gonna give everything I have to help people kind of side, you don't make any money and you burn out. And if you go to the other side, you don't have any impact and you don't feel valued. So I encourage everyone today, when you're thinking about your businesses and stuff and thinking about being a leader, take this kind of well-rounded approach. So that's a little bit about me. I come from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, so it's definitely not the city life, it's very much country life, but I'm here in Lancaster to stay now. I find value every day in following my passion, and it's something that I've been able to meet other people that have that same vision. So that's a little bit of my background. I wanted to get through it quickly because it's not super interesting to me. I'm sure it's interesting to you guys, but it's not interesting to me. What's interesting to me is how I might be able to add a little value for you today. So how many of you, just by a show of hands, and I'm not going to force you to do anything weird today. I just want to know by a show of hands, how many of you would envision that you own a business or run a business someday? I see like a couple hands. Okay, a couple business leaders. How many want to be leaders in general outside of the business sense? Okay, neat. So how many are going to think about going into the government sector? Okay, and into the science sector? Okay, cool. How about into another sector that I haven't mentioned besides government and science? Neat. All right, so here's my thought. where do you guys get your advice? Where do you turn when you need something that you're looking for that someone around you doesn't immediately know? If you're thinking about becoming a leader and you're thinking about going into a field that you're not currently experienced in, where do you get your advice? Do you get it from your parents? Do you get it from your friends, family, your teachers at school? Are you taking advice from people on YouTube? Are you getting out of books? I mean, when you think about all of the information that's out there today, what are you going to consume that's going to push you towards that goal versus what are you going to consume that's going to distract you from it? So part of what I want to push to you guys today is be selective with who you take advice from. And don't take advice from someone you wouldn't trade places with. Think about how crazy that is. How many people is that going to limit? Your goal in life, if you want to become a leader, is to get around other leaders and be around them so much that that's the advice you absorb all day long. And how hard is it to get around those leaders? It's pretty tough. And so you're going to work on your networking, right? But if you're focused on eating that right content, if you're focused on reading, if you're focused on learning from business leaders and leaders in the field that you're interested in, you'll get in the right circles. You'll spend time around those people, and you'll get pushed towards where you want to go. So how do you do that when you're in school? How do you do that when you're buried in coursework and classwork? Give yourself a little bit of time every day to do something that honestly is interesting to you. If it's an hour, that's great. If it's half an hour, that's great too. But if you don't, give yourself a little bit of time every day to get outside of what you're currently doing, you're not going to reach that goal. So for me, it was studying at F&M and spending a little bit of time learning about nonprofits and a little bit of time with inner city kids in Lancaster, helping them achieve their dreams. That was my little bit. And I started to learn about other people on YouTube, some influencers, some media that I consumed, and they were working with at-risk youth as well. So I reached out to them. I traveled to Boston. I traveled to New York. I'm going to travel to Chicago soon to pick up on some of those other influencers who are working in the circles, and that's helped my business. So be careful who you take your advice from, and make sure that your advice comes from people that you would trade places with, which is going to limit you to who you take advice from. Okay, so back to this whole leadership segment. Some people, how many of you think you're, I mean, again, maybe this is a little embarrassing, how many think you're legitimately born leaders? Like it's something that people just kind of gravitate towards you? Is anyone willing to admit that? Okay, that's pretty cool. I respect that. There's definitely a market for that. There's opportunities for you to get ahead and have people follow you, and if you're passionate, they will follow you. But what about if you're someone like me who just, I just love doing work. And that's, in my opinion, equally as valuable as being a born-bred leader right off the bat. So there's so many people now, and I know you guys hear this, and you might hear it in me, who are out there saying, I'm gonna be successful. I'm headed to make those multi-millions. I'm gonna change the world. This world is about talk now. What are you gonna do that's action? I mean, ideas, you've heard this, I'm gonna say that word. Ideas are shit. I mean, they really are. There's something that you can talk about all the time. How many business ideas have you heard that are phenomenal, and you turn around a month later and no one's done anything? If you want a business idea to really come through, if you want to be a leader, you have to act on it, and that's what makes a huge difference. So many people come up to me now, you know, being in the leadership community in Lancaster, it's like, I have this great idea, Will, let's do this thing together. If we do this and this and this and this and this, and I say, great. Check back with me in a month, fill me on your progress. How often do you think those people actually follow up with me with something they've done for their idea? And when you go around and you talk to people and you listen about their ideas and you're like, oh man, I could really get behind that. You think, that person's got it. That's totally their idea. I don't have a part of that. That's not true. There's a great chance that they're never going to follow through on that idea. And you can take it and beat them to it. So that's the goal. That's the goal. That's something that I've learned as a leader, to not listen to what people say, but to watch what they do. And if you're a true leader, you will do, and people will follow you because you do, and look behind you because you have the guts to go out there and do something. So that's my second. My first piece of advice is to be careful who you take advice from. My second piece of advice is that you go ahead and do things instead of just sitting around and thinking about all these great ideas, because ideas aren't worth anything. And people now, how many of your friends do you know talk about starting their own companies and getting people to invest in their companies and stuff like that? Does anyone talk about that? Do you have anyone that you know that talks about you following them, you following, this is a great idea, I want to get out of high school, I want to get into college, I want to do this. The market for those ideas is so tiny. And you don't have to search, like you as a leader don't need to search for the one key thing that's going to make you super unique and then millions and millions of dollars. I mean, most money in the world is made by people taking ideas and warping them to something a little more successful and then pushing that back out to the community. So don't worry in your head about how you have to be this perfect, unique leader that's going to change the world and lead the way. You can do that by just following up on something else that someone's done and you can do a little bit better, which is what I ended up doing with Benchmark Program. So another thing, and this is probably the last thing I'm going to bore you guys with. When you think about learning, and you're here today, and you're taking advice from people, how much of that is going to stick with you? A lot. Are you going to remember everything that happened today? Remember everything that happened in class on Tuesday? Most of that stuff fades, right? So why does it fade? Probably fades because it's not immediately applicable in your life right now, right? So in order to get really neat information to stick in your heads, I would encourage you to start learning about things that you can use right now. Learning about skills that you can take and use tomorrow. And when you spend your time learning and investing in books and investing in seminars and watching YouTube channels and stuff, that stuff that makes sense to you and that you use tomorrow when you talk to your friends and when you go into the store and how you treat people, customer service, customer relations, all that stuff, that's what sticks. So whatever your business is, whatever you want to do in the leadership world, I would encourage you to find something that you can learn about it, that you can implement in your life now. And you'll all of a sudden, you won't start to see your goals as way far away. Like, I have to get the whole way to the other end of the room to get to my goals. Instead, you'll start to see, wow, I can take a step today that makes me a little bit better at doing this. And honestly, here's a great example. I had a huge beard for a long time, and I was just like rugged. I was like, I'm gonna go into the business world, and I'm gonna just look the way I want to look, and I'm gonna change things up. How do you think that worked? It didn't work too well, but I learned that I could just clean myself up a little bit and look more like a presentable person and get farther in business relationships, and we have. So little changes in your life, and shaving your beard is probably not the best example, but little changes in your life, learning little things that you can implement now will go a long way for you. The other thing, and this will be my little closing thing before we do some question and answer, is that you guys, how many of you use Twitter and Facebook and Instagram regularly? Right. So how many of you have one of these in your pocket? If you are not using this to get your ideas out there, you're falling behind. Think about the people that have crazy YouTube channels or social media presences that have thousands and thousands of followers and are getting their ideas out there. Why aren't they getting that much attention? Because they're taking the time to put it out there. And they're spending energy just explaining where you are. I swear, if you want to get a taste of some leadership right now, there are people out there in the world connected to you via social media in ways you don't know that want to know about your experience. They want to follow your leadership journey. Legitimately, if you become a world-renowned leader someday or multi-gazillionaire or whatever, imagine how cool it would be to have video footage of you or blog series of you as you came up from where you are right now to where you go in the future. People are literally categorizing their life and the way that they've grown into leaders by using social media now. You have a tool there to get your name out there. If you want to make an impact in the world and you want to go to someone and say, look at all these people that follow me as a born and bred leader, show them your following on social media and how you've added value to your social media crowd. I'm not talking just gathering random friends on social media. I'm talking, who are you right now? What are the things you're challenged? What are the things that you're struggling with? How have you overcame those struggles? What are you doing to overcome those struggles? And how are you spreading that to other people? It's been a huge thing for me and how I can add value to the community outside of my work with Benchmark program. I'm working on writing a little book right now to talk about how to start up nonprofit programs. I'm working on a couple different social media things that will allow me to impact people virtually instead of just face-to-face. You have a phone in your pocket, you have access to all the free networks out there, and you have free video that you can shoot and post right out there to show people, this is me, this is who I am, and you're building your personal brand. So I would encourage you as a leader to start to think about that, because people will follow you right now, and more so than you think. It might take a little bit of time, but you all have the tools, and you all just showed me that you know how to use those tools to get yourself out there. So I hope that I've shown you guys that I'm interested in a variety of things. I spend a lot of time working on the nonprofit. I read a lot of finance books. I follow a lot of social media influencers and digest a lot of media content. But I'm mostly interested in knowing what you all have questions about. And I'll answer them the best of my ability. Anyone brave enough to ask a question? Or else I'm just going to keep talking about one person. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you don't mind talking about your view on higher education and its effect on how achieving like what you deem as being a leader. More specifically with yours, like what degree did you earn at F&M, and if you plan on attending any more higher education?
Yeah, great question. So I'm a liberal education fanatic. I came to F&M because I wanted a well-rounded approach. I went to, you can go to any school, I believe, and get a well-rounded approach. but it was my belief that if I didn't get a little taste of everything, I would get super bored. And I have to have flexibility in my life. I have to have options, which I think most of us would think about. It's nice to have options to do different things. And going to school here at FNM, or a school like FNM, gave me the options to not go to medical school if I didn't want to. But when I was here, I studied public health and Spanish. So think about that as like community medicine. Again, my goal was to impact the most people's lives as possible. Was I a leader here? No, I played on one sport team. I quit after a year because it was very challenging, and I didn't understand balance. I wasn't in any other student organizations. I spent all my time in the library. But while I was here at FNM, I found a group of people that I could help. And when I started helping them, I just kind of naturally ended up in the leadership position. So after everything all I'm saying today, I think it's very important to go to a school of your choosing where you're going to have options, but not worry too much about getting to a leadership position, because if you are a born leader, just like if you do put good content out on social media and other platforms, people will follow you naturally. And that's the way you want it to be. Did that answer your question? Did I hit all the components?
Definitely.
Thanks for being brave enough for asking a question. I never would have asked a question at this kind of event. I would have just kept it to myself, so I'm already impressed by you guys. Yes?
What was your motivation through it all?
So I found out when I was young that helping people made me feel good. And because I'm a very selfish person, I wanted more of that. And I went on some construction style like mission trips, and I helped build some homes in different parts of the world. And that made me feel even better. And then I thought, okay, how can I take this passion I have for helping people and a hunger for that good feeling, and expand it? And the way that I expanded it was by creating an organization and teaching other people to treat people the way that I treat them. So my motivation was that gut feeling of this is good for me, this is good for other people. But I will admit that I did do other things along the way. So I actually worked in construction for a while, and I worked as a personal trainer for a while, and I worked at a couple other organizations, and I quit within 3 months. I mean, I was never a very good employee. I always, like, if they caught me on my computer, I was looking up ways to start the nonprofit. Like, I was like, how do I get this information? So it's something, and I think some of you probably feel this right now. You have something that you want to do right now. You wish you weren't here. You wish you were doing that. You should probably follow that. And if you talk to people and learn, there's probably a way you can make money off of that. But my motivation was not money. Although I am very happy to make money, I think it's super important. Not the whole motivation. Cool. Anybody else? Any other brave people? Go ahead.
So you said you wanted to be doctors or some sort of physician. Do you think that you're helping a lot more people now than you would have if you completed medical school and followed that path?
Phenomenal question. So I weighed that out in my head. I was like, all right, Kiefer is going to have an impact. How am I going to have the most impact? I was sure it was going to be a doctor. Like, how can you have more impact than when someone is dying and you save them? I went into an ER. Someone walked in with like a bloody hand. I passed out and threw up, and I decided, all right, that's not for me. But that legitimately didn't deter me. When I was thinking about it, I was like, and that was definitely a deterrent. I'm not a blood person, but I thought maybe through mentoring, I can help people from even getting to that point. So I still feel like I'm involved in the health world because I help people, and not just through weightlifting, but make healthy choices that keep them from getting to medical crises. So that's kind of the way I reasoned it out in my head. I think that everyone should have that kind of thought process. Like, what is your goal, and what's the fastest way to get there? And once you decide it, I would encourage you guys to do it and never look back, or else you'll just constantly try to go forward and you'll get jolted because you still have that tension behind you. So when I decided that it was going to be this business for me, I never thought about it again. Even though a lot of my family's doctors and there's like pressure there, they still bother me actually. Like they're still like, so how's that business going? What are you making? And how many people are you impacting? And where do you see yourself in the future? And I just have to like rattle off those questions like I'm doing really well and my money is fine, I'm having my impact. So like I said at the beginning, people just will generally not believe that you can make it until you show them that you can. Anybody else? We'll do both. Let's you go first. Ladies first. Sorry.
Earlier you were saying that in the beginning you were hoping that you had a group of 15 or so kids that you would mentor. What would we do to connect to those students? You were saying before, like, kids were you said that you help them with self-confidence. What would you do to show them that you can connect to them? And what are you doing now to show them all those students that are you're in like multiple places? What are you doing to make a personal effort and connection to each of those students now that you're helping your nonprofit organizations grow?
So phenomenal question. I didn't talk about how I actually do benchmark program, which is interesting. So it's all mentoring, and it's conversation through weightlifting. So because at the beginning I said I didn't really have any skills besides weightlifting, I just started doing that. I was like, I met these 3 kids. I was like, come with me, we'll go to the YMCA, we'll lift weights. And we started lifting weights, and I was just doing very simple, like, this is how you do a squat, and this is how you do a deadlift. And what happened was, they would start to say things, like, in between sets, that would interest me. Like, why did you just say that you're really mad at your mom? Or why did you say that you're not sure where you're going to sleep tonight? Little comments like that I picked up on, and I realized that I didn't need a social service degree or any kind of clinical degree to just be like, look, let's get online and let's look up some resources for you right now. And if I can help you, I will help you, and we'll make sure we get you in touch with those resources. So the way that my program actually works is I teach people how to move around a crowd like this of kids, male and female, who are in the gym just working out, and listen for things. And then when they hear a trigger, like a kid saying, I'm gonna punch that person in the face, then we go in and we say, what's going on? Like, let's talk about that a little bit. And so through exercise, we generate conversation. Through conversation, over the course of a couple of weeks, we get to know kids, we get to know their family situations, we meet their families, we go to their homes, and then when we find out what they really need, if they need a resume, we write the resume. If they need clothes to get a job interview, we get them the clothes they need. If they need to have the FAFSA done to go to college, we fill it out for them, that kind of stuff. And how do I stay in touch with them? The gym is free. And you all should stop by sometime. It's super cool. There's 2 gyms in Lancaster, but the gym is free. You get a gym membership, and you're part of benchmark program always. So whenever they have challenges, like they go off to college, I have some kids at Value Stevens, when they need homework help, they come back and I help them do it. So, did that answer the question? You sure? All right, good. Okay.
Just if you could go back, what would you change about what you did right out of high school and what type of degree you went towards?
So I definitely would have studied the same thing. I honestly believe that the science background that I got taught me analytical thinking. I question everything. I dig deep into everything. I have a need to understand things. Although, if I could go back and do one other thing, I just would take a basic accounting course. If you're going to get into business, accounting is like language. It's just how business people talk. And it's super, it's a way, if I was sitting at a table with a bunch of business people, they could exclude me really quickly if they started using terms I don't understand. So as soon as I got up to par with their language and I was like firing back some stuff, then it's like, oh, this guy he knows what he's talking about. So I probably would have taken a slightly more businessy approach, but I believe that as a leader, you should have this super wide, stance of all the things you understand. So I also, if I could go back and talk to myself in high school, I would be reading much, much more. And when I was in high school, which was not that long ago, I graduated in 2010, we didn't have the hardcore YouTube that there is now. There's so much stuff out there. I'm listening to YouTube videos every day of people who are interesting to me, and I'm learning from them. So I probably would have at the time told myself to read more, but now I would tell you guys, if you're not consuming content that's put out there by influencers, like people in the field you want to go into, just hold yourself back. It's all out there. So that's what I would say. Just focus on learning right now. And when you get into it, there's literally nothing cooler than being in a college classroom and having the professor ask a super hard question, and all of a sudden something clicks in your head from something you watched on YouTube last week, and you raise your hand and go, and everyone's like, how did you know that? It's like, well, I put the time in. I've been reading all this stuff. Did that answer it?
Yes.
All right, cool. Who else? We're getting close-ish on time, I think. Go ahead.
Was it hard for you to go after your dream with, with your family members and not something to
Yeah. So let me say this first of all. I've lived an incredibly easy life. so easy. I've had some family members die. Like that's incredibly impactful on me. I worry about that every day now. When you think about death, like everything just, nothing else matters. You just, there are some things that happen to me that have been impactful, but compared to the people that I work with, my life has been a cakewalk. I mean, I've had challenges, people not believing me, but none of my family has ever been like, I don't want anything to do with you anymore if you're gonna go that way. Some of the people that I work with, that's what they're facing. And when you have your family say like, cool, you go that way if you want, but like, we're staying here. You're on your own, you don't need our help. I try and be the first person to metaphorically wrap my arms around that person and be like, we're gonna go this together, we're gonna do this together. So it was hard for me at times when I didn't know what I was doing, and I reached out to my family and none of them knew what they were doing. I've always gone to my parents for advice. And when I talk to my parents about business, my mom's a professor and my dad's a computer scientist, like, they don't know about business. They definitely don't know about nonprofits. So it was hard for me to find other people. When I found those other people, that was my community. So I found a new community of people and surrounded myself by them. And when I had those challenges, I just reached out to them. So again, I would encourage everyone here to look for that. You might have to find a new community of people, and that might cause you to lose some friends. But what leader do you know that's friends with everyone? There are some people who are trying to hold you back. Sometimes you have to shake off before you get to the next level. So yeah, I just don't want to stand up here and say like I've had a super hard life. I mean, I've been super lucky, but that's the reason I do what I do, is because I see other people trying to get to positions of success in life, and they're struggling, and I go in there and I do for them what my parents did for me. If they need money, I connect them to resources to get that money. If they need business help, I connect them. If they need leadership counseling, I connect them. So that's how I'm trying to give back. That's how I'm trying to pay it forward, so that if I find people who are struggling, I play the role of like that angel person. Have you ever had something happen to you where you're like, you just don't know what's going on, someone swoops in that you don't know, and they do something for you that's crazy, and you can never thank them enough? That's the kind of person you want to be someday. And I've had people like that, like we've fallen real short on our money, and we had someone come up and donate money to me and my wife for like 3 months of food. That was crazy because of doing this work. It came up randomly and just like, we want to support you, here you go. So that's why I've been very blessed. Who else? And that was a really deep question, so. Go ahead.
What's your advice on competition? Like, as if somebody wanted to do the same exact thing you're doing with your gym and they come into Lancaster, how do you stop that? What's your
My
advice?
heart rate is racing right now with that question. I thrive on it. It's like it makes me all tense up, because competition is the most enjoyable thing in the world. In the world. There's nothing more fun. And I love it. I love it when other programs come into our circle and challenge us. And I love challenging other people. I was super competitive academically. I loved it when kids came out of class and they were like, hey, what'd you get on that chemistry exam? It's like, I got an F, but I know I'm gonna get better. So I wasn't on it. I'm serious, that's something to think about. Can you be competitive when you're getting Fs in chemistry? Yes, you can. I did, I legitimately got it. There were five chemistry exams in organic chemistry 2. I failed 3 of them and I passed 2. And I worked so darn hard, I will sit down, in labs. I worked so hard in labs that I got a B. So yeah, competition is everything to me. And when you get to the point where you create something and you realize that other people are getting like a little scared, like you're nudging up against them, like when I go into a room with the executive directors of the Boys and Girls Club in the mixed art place, like, yeah, I'm in your space. I'm up on your doorstep. Like, I'm knocking down the door saying, I'm doing it better. Bring it. And that's what's kept me going. Because I also have a fear. I have a fear of losing. I lose a lot, but I don't want that. So, yeah. Really, when you're competitive, you can do anything. So, I would encourage you guys to find something that you like and just get nasty. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Get it. Okay, who wants to follow out? I'm energized now, so someone please give me another question. Please, something. You got another one? Wait, she hasn't gone. Go ahead.
How do you personally define success?
Oh, great define it differently every day. No, that's not it. So the way that I define success is by the number of people that would come to my funeral. Right? That's something interesting to think about, right? Like, if I'm working with someone and I'm not sure they would come to my funeral, it's probably not a super good connection. I work to increase the number of people that would show up at my funeral if I died now. Think about how many people showed up at Gandhi's funeral or MLK Jr.'s. Holy crap. People like across the world felt this emptiness when Maya Angelou passed away. Like, that for me, that's my motivation, and that's how you find success. Like, I've positively impacted so many people that they're so appreciative that they would show up to say farewell to me. That for me that's how I think about it. I know that sounds kind of, negative maybe, but that's how I think about it, and I measure my success that way, and in turn I measure my impact that way. So, yeah. Okay, I've gone from high to low now. Who else wants to say it's phenomenal? We're almost out of time. I promised I'd be done, so I have 2 minutes left. I'm going to leave you guys with a creepy quote. Go ahead.
So what sport did you play, and what do you feel about getting involved in sports and other activities along with school?
So I rowed. I was in the rowing team. So yeah, it was really interesting. We would be like up. Everyone knows what the Susquehanna River is, right? Is the Susquehanna River clean or dirty? It's dirty, right? Imagine that getting splashed in your mouth at 5 a.m. That was what it was. Yeah, we would be out of the dorms at like 4:30ish. We'd get on the bus, we'd go to Susquehanna. We'd lift the boats up, set them in the water, get on the water, and the a-hole in front of me would backsplash in my mouth. So that was super humbling to learn that, and rowing was also the only time in my life, and I'm a competitive powerlifter now, like I lift at the state level, but that was the only time that I pushed my body to its physical limits. So you need to find out your limits, and that's what sports did for me. You also need to find out your limits, like work-wise. How hard can you push your brain before your brain does the same thing? And then you can measure your success against that as well. So, great question. I think sports are important, but if you don't like sports, like, how hard can you push your mind before you click that? So, all right, this is the last thing I want to leave you guys with, because I'm out of time, and I really, really, really appreciate the questions. That means a lot to me. I was kind of worried that I'd show up here and you guys would just eat your food and not even look at me, but you paid attention, which I appreciate. Here's a quote that motivates me to learn more. It says that if you took all the money in the world, and divided it equally amongst every single person, eventually all of that money would end up back in the hands of the people who are currently holding it. So think about that. People want money all the time. That's not the solution. Learning how to use money, learning how to manage money, learning how to manage yourself and control yourself is the solution. Because if we just gave all the money in the world, if we just gave it out evenly to everyone, people who are smart enough and have it all right now would get it all back very quickly. So that motivates me to learn, that motivates me to keep learning, and I hope you guys have a great day. So thanks so much.